We are seeing the pie chart absolutely explode after some pretty interesting news and a lot of speculations after we see some unusual things happening from pie whales. Some pie whales have been really going pretty ham, buying a ton of pie coins off of OKX. There's a lot of speculation as to what this could be for. Could this be some news that's rumored to be coming out on the 14th of May from the Pie Network team? Is it from a Binance listing? There's a whole bunch of things happening, but what we are seeing is the pie chart go absolutely ballistic. I am also noticing a pattern that we have seen before in the past. Now, this is just the very beginning end of the pattern, so I think we probably need a little bit more time to confirm for sure whether this is going to be the case, but I think we're seeing a lot of really, really interesting and exciting things happening on the pie chart. And of course, if you've been around for a while, we've seen a lot of people get really, really nervous, and there's been a lot of FUD going around on the pie chart. We're seeing, at least in the short term, things are maybe turning around a little bit. And so I did want to just talk a little bit about kind of what's happening over the past couple of days, and we can try and maybe draw some comparisons from what we've seen in the past and then indicate what that could actually do to the pie chart in the future. So let's go ahead and let's check out the pie chart here really quick, because there's a lot of interesting things going on here. So obviously, as we can see, it has just gone absolutely parabolic. Now, there are a couple of things that we are seeing. If we zoom in here, we can see very clearly we are outside of the RSI. We are currently overbought, as well as being outside of the Bollinger Bands. And as we've explained several times on several different videos here, usually when this type of thing happens, we will see a little bit of a consolidation. Now, of course, we never know where exactly that consolidation is going to stop, but it could potentially mean that we just kind of bounce between this level of support and resistance that we have seen here, and then maybe start to take another move back to the upside. That is, of course, completely possible. We also could maybe see a little bit further of a retrace, maybe back down to this like 76, 77 cent range. As we've seen in the past, this has been a massive level of both support and resistance for the Pi token. So very, very good that we did break this level, and it should hopefully serve as a decent level of support kind of moving forward. But I would say, just given what we've seen right now, there's a lot of upward momentum that we have seen out of the Pi token. And so I wouldn't necessarily expect us to see this continue. But again, stranger things have happened. If we go and look back at the pie chart here, it did actually just move absolutely parabolically over the span of about 5 or 6 days. And of course, we can see from the 22nd to the 26th of February, almost a 4x coming in here. We actually will be talking a little bit about this in more detail in the future as to what potentially could be coming on in the future. Again, we never know for sure. Obviously, I cannot tell the future, and so I can just try and map out patterns that we've seen before in the past, and then you, of course, can decide whether you agree with me or not. Now, also what we can see here, this is just kind of a classic technical breakout of that descending wedge that we saw here. We saw that break and close here, and then of course we took off like a rocket here. I have been out traveling for the past couple of days, so unfortunately I did miss this confirmation, or else I probably would have gotten in on this. As you guys know, I do like to trade the Pi token a decent bit, just because Pi usually does this type of stuff, and you can see some pretty insane moves on Pi pretty quickly. So also, if you are interested and you want to get in on trading Pi, as you can see, I have been trading on BTCC, doing quite well, everything in green here. If you are interested, I do have that link in the description below, so you can go on ahead and get signed up. Up to 10% bonus on your first time deposits, as well as up to $10,055 in deposit and trading bonuses. So a really, really strong deal there if you are interested and you're looking for a place to trade. BTCC is a great one to do so. As you can see here, we're up about 231% on XRP, about 118% on SUI, 47% on Ondo, and about 33% on Bitcoin. I have actually taken profits on a lot of these over the past couple of days, just because we have seen such a strong pump in the market. And who knows exactly what we're going to see next out of the crypto market. We don't always want to be, diamond handsing and then becoming a bag holder because price doesn't go in the direction that we want. So I personally have been doing that. Of course, nothing that I say is financial advice. So you do need to make your own decisions in terms of what you want to do and how you want to manage your own strategy. Maybe diamond handsing is what you want to do, and you believe that we can see, this alt season come around, and over the long enough term, that's probably going to be a pretty good deal. But again, we just never know for certain, when we're actually in the midst of it. So I'm trying to take a little bit more of the pragmatic view and taking profits when we see pumps. And then if we see dumps and we see some dips come right back down, then we can obviously DCA back into some of these positions that we have taken profits on. So, but of course, you need to develop your own strategy and figure out what works for you. Now, moving along, I want to take a quick look at the X posts that we are seeing from a couple of different Pi accounts. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors. No one really knows for sure. I think we have a pretty good guess as to what caused the explosion in price, but the why is, I think, where we see a lot of speculation coming in. And so what we can see here on May 14th, the Pi core team plans to make a major announcement about the Pi ecosystem, which some analysts believe may include new products, strategic alliances, or exchange listings, which could lead to a significant price increase. This is attached essentially with an article saying that a whale buys 20 million Pi coins, and the Pi network could mirror a Bitcoin rise, just because this is similar to what we saw in about 2012, 2013, if I'm remembering the details from the article correctly. Now, of course, this was a little while ago. This was about an hour or so ago. We have seen recently, actually, that a whale bought 70 million Pi coins on OKX. So a massive amount, more than the 20 million that was referenced in the last article. And so there is some speculation that we could potentially be seeing a Binance listing, because that is a lot of Pi coins, usually for exchange listings, unless the exchanges are actually gifted tokens to be listed with. These exchanges need to get these coins from somewhere, right? And so the fact that we're seeing so many coins scooped up all in one fell swoop could potentially mean that we are seeing a listing exchange getting queued up. We don't, of course, know that for sure, but that is something that I do think we should keep in mind. And so, of course, there is a lot of speculation going around here, but we can see it's all kind of surrounding this major move that was made by this whale, scooping up 70 million Pi coins on OKX. Essentially, what happened here is 70 million coins were bought, and then they were all sent out to private wallets on chain. So this is essentially being sent off of exchanges. So the supply or the float on exchanges has actually decreased dramatically for the Pi token, which of course has again kind of sent Pi's price skyrocketing. So usually with these types of moves, we do see little bits of retraces, just because this is a little bit of like a short-term liquidity crunch. And so liquidity crunches don't usually stay around forever. And so we may see a little bit of a pullback there, but depending on if we see a Binance listing or what the exchange or what the announcement from the Pi core team is on the 14th of May, this could only be the beginning, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about this, because we have seen this in the past. And could this be history repeating? Could this just be, some coincidence? Who knows? We'll have to see for sure. But the thing that I wanted to show here is we can see this is the total 2 market cap. So as we can see over the past day or so, we have started to see momentum kind of slow down a little bit. Bitcoin price has been grinding up a little bit, but nothing really too crazy. But the total 2 has started to see a little bit of a retrace. Now, of course, some natural points for the retrace to stop could be around this like 1.13 trillion mark, maybe even at like this 1.16 trillion mark. Probably somewhere in this range seems most reasonable if you ask me. And then from there, maybe we get into this like 1.07 to 1.02 range. Could be kind of that next area. Again, if we kind of continue to see a little bit of a more protracted retracement, which I don't think would necessarily be an unhealthy thing. Well, what we can see back in this time period, from February 22nd to February 26th. Again, these dates may sound familiar. We'll be coming back to that here in a second. The total 2 market cap actually dropped by 9.73%. Well, in this time period, this is when the Pi coin, if we go back and take a look over here, this is the same time period when the Pi coin actually went almost 4x. So the overall crypto market went down 10%, but the Pi chart went up almost 4x. So we could potentially be seeing this start to set up to do something similar. We're seeing the alt market more generally start to stutter out and slow down just a little bit. And so that could potentially lead to another explosive move from the Pi coin. We're already seeing it start. Whether it continues, I think, is kind of the main question. So we've definitely kind of seen similarities up to this point. Whether we continue and see everything that comes next is, of course, a different question. But given what we are seeing here on the pie chart on BTCC, if we looked here about a 4x, let's just go use the price range. Let's just say bottom to top would be about this range. If we were to see about a 4x, that would put us at about $2.24. So about a 2x from here if we were to see the same type of thing that happened last time. Now, again, last time this was just after Pi was recently listed. So there's a little bit of a difference here in terms of exactly kind of some of the impetus for what happened and what kind of sent Pi flying the first time. But if we see a Binance listing, or if we see something like that, or some ridiculous announcement from Pi, on the 14th, maybe saying that, I don't know, they're partnering with Apple or they're partnering with Android, I don't know, some really like insane announcement like that, then maybe we see something similar happen, because that would be a similar type of news event that could send Pi's price flying. And so I just want to kind of call that out a little bit, discuss some of the possibilities to what we could see as we kind of move into this next couple of weeks. We could see some pretty insane things happening with Pi. Now, of course, I did just want to give a bit of a disclaimer, a bit of a cautionary note. We have already seen Pi do almost a 2x over the span of the past about week or so. So you do need to be very, very careful when we have seen pumps like this happen. I'm not quite yet going to be rushing in to buy Pi, even though we could see potentially another 2x coming if history repeats itself. I'm not totally interested in taking that level of risk. I mean, obviously, if I would have been paying attention while I was out traveling, I would have gotten in before we've seen, the majority of this 2x that we've seen over the past couple of days. But of course, that is not what happened. So I'll just be kind of taking a step back, waiting and seeing if we see a little bit of a retrace. Maybe if we do come down to like that 98-cent range, or maybe even better than that, 77-cent, and we start to see a little bit of a bounce from there, then maybe I'll end up going in. But at least for right now, I'll just be taking a step back and just watching and seeing how everything unfolds. And if we do see this happen again, then maybe we can start to establish a little bit of a roadmap for the future, that when the alt market starts to stall out and when Pi starts to curl up a little bit, crazy things are ahead, right? So always keep that in mind. I think that could be a pretty interesting roadmap to be following over the potentially next weeks, months, years, if this does continue to kind of look like it may repeat itself. So anyway, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please give me a like on the video, and then if you would subscribe to my channel, it does really help me grow, and you can also stay up to date with future Pi updates. I also give updates on the overall crypto market, as well as specific coins and tokens that are happening to be doing particularly well at various points in time, just so you can get a little bit more context as to why certain things might be doing what they're doing. So anyway, also, if you have any comments, thoughts, feelings, questions, things like that, just drop those in the comment section. I do read and respond to all of those. So if you have anything that you want me to see, that would be a great way to do so. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.